Oh God, this idea's burning up my eyeballs.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Q Manning, and I'm the general manager and founder of Rock Sauce Studios. What is Rock Sauce? You can kind of define us as a digital innovation agency. Our job is to use product thinking, design thinking, UX, UI, branding, story writing, whatever tools are available to us to help our clients solve really big, complicated problems. Because a lot of the problems that come to us are pretty major in scope and they've been difficult for clients to solve in the past, there's a lot of concern about scope creep. And so, on this episode of Q and Answers, I wanted to answer that directly. How do I avoid scope creep on my product? Let's identify what scope creep is. Scope creep is this idea that when you have a product or a concept that you're trying to build, it continues to grow. It grows in cost, timeline, and even team. New ideas are brought in and things just start to grow out. It gets longer and longer and more expensive. Is scope creep bad? Not inherently, no. Ideas are like beautiful, fluffy little bunnies, and they're gonna meet each other and start breeding, and new ideas are gonna come along, and new ideas, and suddenly it's gonna be like a whole huge house full of little baby ideas. Your job is to decide which ideas are actually better for the product so that you don't have scope creep. Some of those ideas are gonna be fantastic and you're going to want to roll them into the product. Other ones, you're not. So how do you determine which one's which? First, let's go back to basics. Identify the problem, and then identify why that problem exists. These two are pillars of making sure that you're building the right thing. Our problem is that we have a company in which people take equipment, and sometimes that equipment gets damaged or lost. Why? Because we have no accountability on the people that break or lose equipment. They're not held to task. We don't know who took the equipment last time, so we don't know who damaged it. We don't know where it went. Everybody had access to the storage house. They have a key, and they just went and left. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different ways you could solve that problem. Your job is to figure out how can we solve the problem in a way that not only fixes the issue, but also answers the why is this problem occurring? So simply taking away everybody's access to the storage room could work, but does it solve the why? No, because accountability is still there. The people still aren't being held accountable when they do take something out necessarily. So for our situation, what we're going to do is we're going to propose an online platform. And this online platform is going to give each user a unique identifier, a username, and they will be able to schedule what time they want to take out equipment. And that way the next person in line will know, okay, this individual had it last, and this is when I get to have it next. For big equipment, we're also going to add in a GPS. So if you have a tractor or a trailer, maybe a bulldozer, that'll have a GPS built in so that we can keep track of it if it gets lost. Okay, so now we've answered our problem and we've given it a good why. This is our solution that we're going to go forward with. Enshrine this into your memory. Burn it in like you're staring at an eclipse.
Oh God, this idea's burning up my eyeballs.
It's all good. You want it in your head and you want everybody on your team to know this backwards and forwards. Take it, print it, put it on walls, write it on whiteboards, get t-shirts made up with the whole thing on the back. Who cares? Because everybody needs to know it. Why? Because ideas are bunnies. And one idea is going to make another idea breed. So along the way, new concepts are going to come up. You have to judge them against this mission statement. Is this new idea actually driving forward this mission statement, or is it just not helping at all? Case in point, well, for our online platform, we want to let users change colors, change fonts, change row dimensions, so that way they can feel like it's truly theirs. And if we judge that back against what our goals were, the problem and the why, does that actually help out with making sure people are checking in and out equipment? No. Is it helping us know who had equipment last time? Not necessarily. Is it helping us make sure that equipment's not getting lost? No. And it's definitely not increasing accountability. No one's learning anything from the system. So that feature, we'd probably move into a backlog. A backlog is sort of like a graveyard. Doesn't have to be a graveyard, it could be a holding pattern, right? Purgatory, let's call it that. It's like purgatory for ideas. You put the ideas there, and later on down the line, if users seem to want that, you can pull it back out. If there's any question about whether or not an idea is right or wrong, you can always do a design sprint, take the idea, UX it, prototype it, put it in front of some real users and say, what do you think about this? Did this solve a problem? Could you see usage of this? Nobody's playing with it, nobody wants it. Then you're gonna say, that's not worth the ROI to put into the product. Which metrics are we using for ROI in this situation? Well, obviously cost, right? Every new feature you add is gonna add cost. Timeline. I mean, you can't get 26 things done in the same amount of time you can get 5 things done. So that's the other one. Team size, obviously bigger the product, more teammates you'll need. But there's a thing that a lot of people don't think about. And that's that every new feature is going to add complexity to your solution. If we're thinking of anything visual, this is extremely important. Whether it's a form, whether it's a mobile application, maybe it's a website. If you add new options, you make it more confusing for a user to know what their major goals are. You make it tougher for them to accomplish what you want them to. And therefore, you make it even harder for you to solve your problem or solve the why. So adding in something like this, while it may be someone's pet idea that they really like, it's gonna add visual clutter to the interface and no one may ever use it. So you have to decide, is it actually worth the investment of all these items just to add in this vanity feature? Probably not. In this situation, I would definitely say not. Well, so you're thinking about your product and you may be thinking, well, I need some help. We've tried this for a few months and we can't seem to get this down pat. What do I do? Well, you can come to us. That's why we're here. You can give us a call, you can shoot us an email, and we're gonna help you out. With what? Well, like I said, maybe you need some product thinking, maybe you need some workshopping, maybe you need a design sprint, could just need some branding or some UX UI. You may just want a digital sparring partner, right? Someone that you can work with to beat up ideas and toss them to us and have us run them through our own expertise of the last 10 years. Whatever you may need, we're gonna get back to you and help you out. So with that, my name is Q Manning. This has been Q and Answers. I'm gonna see you next time. Adios.